Hi, I'm Keela.
And I'm Ashley.
And we met on TikTok when our stories collided.
After we discussed our crazy, people wanted to tell us they're crazy.
So join us as we unpack a whole lot of crazy.
And we named this podcast after the one thing we definitely have in common, raising our mamas.
So welcome to Raising Barbara Jean and Wanda.
Welcome back, bitches. Today we have a special guest, and this is my lifelong friend.
Her name is Dania.
She had to write it down how it sounds because she's like, Dania.
Just call me D.
Yeah, Dania.
Dania.
And we went to middle school together, high school together, and we still...
We rock.
Yeah. And we've got some stories for y'all today about Barbara Jean, about her mama. She has a lot of the same childhood shit that me and Keela talk about. She also has stories of. So everybody, welcome Dania.
Yay.
Okay, so
Don't we have a button for that?
Yeah, where's my damn applause?
Studio audience is losing their mind.
I'm feeling cheated.
we'll do that when it comes out. He'll do it. I'm just kidding. Anyways, so she has a lot of stories about Barbara Jean. I've actually spoke about her several times on several of the stories about mom. Daniel was the one that I made the very first TikTok about. How when she came to my house to see me, my mom would take her to run errands and shit before she was allowed to.
I did not know that was the first
That
TikTok.
was the very first TikTok I ever made.
Oh, yeah. I got my car in the Community 8, honey. Where everybody
Community
got where they
Section
had
8.
to go. Yes.
Community Section 8.
That's right. That's right. Johnson Apartments
So-
was flowing. Everybody had a ride.
Because Dania done took everybody to pay their light bill.
Damn right.
And
Damn
she's
right.
not from like she's not from the same neck of the woods like I am, but she is very resilient and she can fit in wherever she needs to. So she just yeah, sure, of course you're in my, what kind of car was it? Mazda
MX-6.
Yeah, and it was like a
day.
5.
Fancy.
Oh yes, it was so fancy.
5-speed. It was like the top of it was rusted all to hell. Remember that?
But, bitch, don't look up there. Don't look up there. And she didn't know how to drive a 5-speed until she got the car. But
Yeah,
she
that
learned.
was fun.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was
a lot
really
of fun.
fun. But she'd pull up at the apartments. Everybody, Cheryl had to go to the dollar store. Mama had to go to the light company, or Mama had to go fight somebody.
Mama had to go fight Cheryl, so I pulled up one day. And Barbara, I don't even think you were there.
I wasn't
it was
there.
so routine. We stopped by every day, regardless of who was there.
Like you had
It
to
was
make sure you had an extra 30 minutes because to do all the errands.
you had to ride by there, check in, make sure everything was good. So I stopped by and Barbara came out. She's madder than hell, and she was like, "Cheryl done and I gotta go fuck her up." And I'm like, "Damn right, let's go."
Danny is the best hype man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So she actually got in the car and we went to the trailer, which was down Highway 100. It was probably 4 or 5 minutes away. In the country, everything's farther away or whatever. And she jumps out that damn car and went all the way through that fucking trailer. And there was some man there. I don't even know what the hell. He was like in the back room. He's like, "She ain't here." And Barbara's like, "I know she's here, motherfucker. You better tell that bitch to come on." And what's so crazy is Barbara Jean was small, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, 5'2",
Yeah.
98
And mighty
pounds,
as hell.
soaking wet.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
boy.
And wasn't scared of shit.
Wasn't scared of nothing.
And Danny was probably like, "Get her."
I was like, "Barbara." So I did anything that made Barbara happy.
Yes.
Because here's the thing. I already had points against me because I always had my boobs out. So she always wanted me to put on a sweater. Because Barbara didn't roll like that. You know
she's
what
very
I'm saying? She
modest,
was very
which is-
modest. And Ashley was
Yes,
very modest.
and I'm still
too.
modest.
She's always been like that. So yeah, you always wanted to make her happy, And if you didn't have lower tabs, well, motherfucker, you better
put your sweater on.
You better put your damn sweater on.
Because you're going to turn your ass around.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But there were perks with that too. Like, man, there were times when I didn't have anything going on in my house and I come to Barbara's house and be like, "Barbara Jean, I want some fried potatoes and da-da-da-da." And by God, that's all she had in there.
Yep.
And that's what she would make
Yep.
us. Or, I mean,
Yeah.
wouldn't nobody go to war for you
Like her.
Barbara?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah, like almost to the point where you're like, "Okay, calm down." I mean, she went up on the bus one time over a 3rd grade bullying incident, and the bully was a 3rd grader. Like, I mean, it was, and she was like, "I will fuck you up," and the bus driver was like, "You cannot be on the bus." She's like, "I'll fuck you up too, and call you wife." And I'm like, and this wasn't for me; it was for a cousin, like a cousin of a cousin of. Like, if she rolled with you, she rolled with you. But like, she went up on the bus. The bus was like, "We could actually arrest you." She's like, "Bitch, I've got several charges."
There's warrants right now.
Right.
Tell them, come on. They don't want me there either.
Say my name, bitch.
Shit.
I'm gonna slap you before they get here. So, and that's what she'd say. You better
Force
open.
to be reckoned with.
So yes, if she rolled with you, she rolled with you. But
Yeah.
if she didn't, she didn't. And Dania and I have
There's some more merch. Roll like Barbara.
yes, yes. So,
It's like Barbara's got your back.
yes, if she's got your back, you're okay.
I wish we had cell phones back then so we could capture
Yes.
moments like that. You know,
Yes.
because the same reason we're like, oh, I'm so glad we didn't have cell phones when we were young and
Yes.
adolescents. There's still some moments
Yeah.
it's like, man, if I could catch Barbara Jean going
Yes.
off one good fucking time
Yes.
and have that
Should be
video,
super
like, it would have
viral.
done went viral.
Yes.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
TikTok,
Oh,
who?
yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah, it would
Yeah,
be.
she would have her own damn network at this point.
100
Yeah.
fucking percent. 100%.
Dania was one of the friends when my mom went to jail when I was 14 and I had to live by myself. She was telling that when we were eating earlier, she was like, we all told our parents that we were going to Ashley's.
Yeah.
They didn't know her mama was in jail.
They had no fucking idea. So we're the weekend comes, you know. At the time, I came from, you know, my parents worked hard or whatever, but we had a little bit of money and we lived in a very poor community. So having a little bit of money in a poor community, we were considered upper class.
Oh,
in
yeah,
that
for sure.
community, you know. But anyway, Ashley lived in the trailer park and it was a great trailer park.
I mean, for all of us
fucking trailer
hoodlums.
park. And so yeah, on Friday it was like, oh, we're going to Ashley, spend the night. You know, I was telling them we hung out on the square. Like there was a town square, we had nowhere to go, and so we would go up to the square, hang out the basketball courts, walk around and shit.
Basically, it was for the hoodlums. Like, if you went up there, you were hoodlums.
yeah,
which
what
was
they call
fine.
them, skanks and
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Remember, they had the gang at one time. FTP. Do you remember the gang?
no, I don't.
They wore orange. They had a gang color.
They did. I got to put some respect on it though. At least they didn't wear like blue or red or something.
No,
they were
remember-
like, fuck y'all, like we want
Remember
some
when Stick
originality.
Neck, our SRO, was like, "Oh, are y'all part of the gang?" Because it was "Fuck the Police" was the name of the gang, and there's something happened, and they were like, "I bet it was FTP." I'm like, "It's not even a real thing. All we do is play basketball at the funeral home." You don't remember that? I'll have to.
I do now. You know why? John Vincent.
Yes, yes.
In the sat. Yes.
Yes.
I'm there. I'm
Yes,
there. I'm all the way there.
I was like, it's not like we joked that it was a gang, but it
Yeah.
wasn't actually. I mean,
It was just a
yeah,
was
bunch
just
of
something to
kids,
say.
and our SRO was like, "Are y'all part of the gang?" And we're like, "Yeah, no."
That could be our new podcast
Yes.
name.
He's like, I know. He's like, wearing orange. I'm like, it's a joke. It's not even orange was because that's what you wore in jail. Like, it was just a damn joke. But yeah, we were part of the FTP.
Yeah.
Fuck the police. I was like,
So yeah, we're in the trailer park all weekend, every weekend, and then finally somebody's parents are smart enough to find out that Barbara's in jail, and we've been staying in the trailer park with no fucking supervision whatsoever. We have been running
but wait,
the streets.
why
all
did your
summer.
parents? Why did your parents let you stay with me? Because I was the mom of the group, and
she
all of
was.
their parents loved me.
Yes.
So
she
even
was
when
so responsible. I mean, when you come from a background like that,
right,
you
and I
gotta
was
be.
always
Look into that camera. Sorry.
You had to raise them.
I was
Like,
always
looking
like
at me,
very
I'm like, looking-
motherly.
That's right. Trent didn't have that background.
No, yeah. I'm always looking at Trent. He
Oh,
wants us
no,
looking
I've
at
been
him.
doing it too.
Yeah.
So the
Just
cameras.
pretend the camera's Trent.
Damn.
Anyways,
Okay.
I was really motherly. So all of their parents were like, well, we know if
We're gonna
Ashley's
get
not
a
doing it. I'm like,
fathead
yeah, but
next
your
week.
badass kids are doing it. But I'm watching over them, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
pretty much.
So we spent the whole summer. Well, we spent about a month of the summer before
Yeah.
we got caught. DCS got called that I was living by myself, and they were like, can't do that. So I went and lived with our other friend because
Hold
she
up.
lived
How old were you?
14.
14.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it was before my ninth grade year, the summer before my ninth grade year. So I went to live with the other friend because she lived closer to my work, which was at the Senior Citizen Center. I was the bingo girl and Meals on Wheels. And and then I lived with her for 2 weeks, and then because she's got a smart mouth. I hope she listens to this.
But did you tell them you wanted to come live there, or did your mom have to sign something?
Oh no, my mom just had to they evicted us, so my mom just had to say like a family friend was taking me. I went and lived with my aunt at first, and I didn't like living there because she kind of wanted me to be a babysitter all the time, and like I worked like 30 hours a week, and then on my off time, all I wanted to do was be with them and so I lived with my aunt for like a week, and then I told my mom, I was like, no. So my mom was like, just go on to Amber's or Dania's. Well, Amber
I
lived.
seriously doubt we followed through with any paperwork.
Oh yeah, there was no
Like,
paperwork.
There was no fucking
If there was paperwork, Barbara just like forged that shit. Was like, yeah, she's living with a loving relative. Yeah, but there was no one had any paperwork.
I mean, I always signed my own shit back then.
Exactly. So that friend got smart with her daddy, and they got into a toe to toe. And he was like, "Ashley's got to go." So I called Dania, and I was like, "Bitch, I got to come to your house." So I went to her house for the rest of the summer, and then I went and lived with my nanny when school started. But her mom was cuckoo and crazy as hell,
mean,
but
you know,
fun. But she was fun as hell. Like she's liable to jump in on the bed at midnight and be like, "What are you girls talking about?" And hell, we don't know because.
Yeah.
Well, you probably didn't know because you was high and stuff. But
Well, no. Here's the thing. So my mom did a lot of things. My mom has been an alcoholic my whole entire life. So when I was young, I thought it was something. My mom was just extra cool.
Yes.
She was extra fun to be around. I never wanted to give in to the fact that I knew she had a problem. Now, when we got to that age, the age of accountability, it's like all of my friends knew my mom had a problem.
Okay, and
they shielded my heart because they knew it would break my heart for them. And here's the thing: my mom's smoking weed with Barbara Jean.
Well, let me tell you how this happened. Okay, so her mom wears business suits and she works for this big highfalutin attorney in Nashville, like downtown Nashville, right? I get into a car accident in 9th grade. We get kicked out of the hospital because my mama gets into a fist fight with my stepdad's new girlfriend. Gets into a fist fight. They kicked me out even though I was just the patient. I only had one pant leg. It was December 18th. And we had to walk home because Barbara Jean then got into a fist fight. So to keep it from the law coming, they were like, if y'all just leave. So here I'm dragging one leg up there. I mean, we only lived like 2 blocks from the hospital, but I got to make this dramatic as hell because it's funny as hell. They cut my like one pair of pants that I had.
Hold on, though. Notice we're over here laughing. Trent's in tears.
I'm like, this is trauma.
This is hilarious,
real trauma.
Trent.
This is how you deal with trauma.
Yes.
It makes you insanely funny.
The whole school knows
insanely
that we've been in this car wreck because it was a bunch of high school kids. So when I get, when I drag my dead leg up the highway, with one pant leg in December, we get home, Dania comes to see me with her mom. And I'm thinking, oh my God, because we're living with my grandmother and there's like 22 people living in this 2-bedroom house, okay? And like I told you, I slept on the back porch, wherever. We just slept wherever. And I'm like, oh my God, her mom is so fancy and she has on like perfect makeup and her hair's done and she's wearing like a suit with a skirt and high heels. And that porch ain't never seen high heels unless it was DCS or a freaking parole officer, okay? So Dania comes in like, oh my God, are you okay? Because, everybody knows about it. It's a small town. And I'm just thinking, my mom's outside with Dania's mom, and I'm just thinking, oh my God, we're going to be taken away. This woman probably works for like the government because she's so fancy. So they talk for a minute, and then
My mom was trying to get a dime bag, bro.
Well, yeah, but Barbara Jean walks in and says,
weed.
she's going to take me to the store. And I'm like, fuck, she's done bummed a ride to the fucking store with Dania's mom, who's a fucking, I'm thinking she's an attorney. I'm 15, I don't know. And I'm like, oh my God, this woman's probably going to freaking call the law on us. So we get back and mom and her like sit out in the car and they're talking and I'm thinking, oh my God, she's probably got a recorder and she's probably working for the TBI. Like this bitch is like so fancy. And me and Dania are just kind of like hanging out. And so they leave. Dania leaves. And then like a couple days later, her mom comes back. Well, okay, Barbara Jean didn't hide shit from her kids, okay?
Yeah,
so she came in and she said, bitch, she smokes pot. And I'm like, the fuck? No, she don't smoke pot. Like, what? This is the fanciest person I've ever, she just bought this new Chrysler Sebring.
Sebring.
Was it a convertible?
No,
it wasn't.
It wasn't. It had a moonroof.
It had, which is basically
big.
a convertible. There was 22 people living in a 2-bedroom house, so, and we thought it was a damn limousine for all we knew. So anyways, she's like, yeah, she smokes pot. And I'm like, no, she don't. I'm like, Mama, did you get her on pot? And she's like, no. And I'm like, did you offer her pot? Oh my God. Like this, my whole high school career is going to be ruined because I'm going to go to school and Daddy is going to be like, guess what Ashley's mom did? Offered my mom marijuana. Anyway, she's like, no, bitch, she had some. And I'm like, she had pot. Like she could have said she smoked her kneecaps off. I would have not been more surprised. So we didn't tell Dania it was a while.
It was a long time.
So then,
because she was, like I said, she was an alcoholic. So I didn't even notice the weed.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't notice the weed. Like,
Right.
dude, I mean, my mom was putting down handles. Like,
yes.
So,
And
it
then
was
come to
something
find
I
out,
struggled with.
our other friend, because there was 3 of us, her friend, her parents were smoking it too, and I'm thinking, oh my God. I'm thinking my mom has got all of them hooked on pot. Like, Barbara Jean has just went but come to find out, people smoked pot before Barbara Jean. I didn't know that. I thought she invented it. I didn't know. But yes, her mom drank. Yeah. So go ahead, Dania. Sorry.
Yeah, my mom totally drank, and she was super fun and super great. And then once I got to the age of accountability, I realized she was super trashed all the time, and I was so like defensive about it, and just didn't want to talk about it. It's like I realized it, I kept everything inside. So like you guys would hide it from like
right.
they would talk about it amongst themselves. Like, this bitch. I mean, she would do like kind of weird stuff. Like sometimes
right.
she would come out with her in front of the high school boys and be like, and the shit just wasn't fucking right. But I mean, what do you do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when you don't want to accept it,
yeah.
just so.
Oh, for sure.
So anyway, there was just a lot of times
it was
where
your normal.
Yeah, it was.
And me and Amber were like, she's high, but we weren't going to tell Dania because she didn't want to believe it. So we were like, no, look, we're going to try to shield.
I probably would have cried.
Yeah, and
I think I maybe did when y'all did tell me.
I mean, it was a whole minute and you were like, she's not smoking. We were like, right, you're right, she's not.
I found this damn bong, this little apparatus in her bathroom drawer, and she told me it was a car part, and I bought that shit. I fucking bought it, y'all. Like, I wanted to believe that my mom was that mom so bad, you know, because I didn't want to accept the drinking problems. I didn't want to accept this. My mom was a serial marrier. I mean, she's been married like 5 times. She married a man from Australia. Homematch.com, true story. They went through hell to get a divorce. Don't ever marry anybody on the fucking internet, okay? Don't do it. And if you go there, it's going to suck because it's not the United States. The United States is the best place to live ever in life.
Amen.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, she got over there and was like, I can't sleep. I can't do anything. I'm like, well, Mom, you're 18 fucking hours ahead of us. What are you listening at? Like, you're all the way. You got kangaroos knocking on windows and shit. Like, you should have done your research before you did this shit. His name was David. Yeah, that son of a bitch. I think, and you know, I mean, it's just, life is crazy. And as we get older, and especially people that have parents that are addicts, you know, I think we realize how they truly were doing the best that they could.
Oh, yeah.
And we get a lot more forgiving with age.
Right.
Because, like, my 14-year-old right now, I just want to strangle the hell out of her all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think we realize those things the older we get. And a lot of things I didn't want to accept back then, I've come to accept now through therapy and antidepressants and just occasional alcohol.
Right. Shooting the shit with friends and laughing about it. Because
so I think that's healthy, though, and
I think so too.
Yeah, and you know, and that's all we try to do is be better than our parents,
right?
You know,
right.
And in some cases it works, and in some cases it doesn't.
And I said earlier that Keela and Dania's mom had one thing in common, like they were hustlers, and they didn't do without, and they didn't. Barbara Jean used to say, I'm sitting on a gold mine talking about her Pikachu, but, you know, I'm like, bitch, give it up. Let's sift through that shit. You know, we need some lights. But their moms, and I'm not saying anything, you know, negative about their moms, but they were hustlers, and they made sure that y'all did have what you needed and most of what you wanted. And that, to me, that's commendable. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, y'all didn't go to bed hungry.
It's like, you get a Pikachu.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And you get a Pikachu.
I'm like, Barbara Jean, if you're going to go, you know, if you're going to have all these felonies and you're going to have all these warrants and you're going to spend all this time in jail, like, at least sell the shit so we can have electricity.
Well, and I mean,
you know
and I'll contest to that because there were holidays. I mean, dude, you guys didn't have a tree.
Yeah.
There were church drives. Like, I remember holidays where that's where gifts came from.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it was so important to you. And as you got older, you kept your stuff so together. And it was just absolutely, you had to do what you wanted as a child. Because I feel like that's what we all do.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sometimes it's to our own detriment.
Oh,
too,
yeah,
you know,
for sure.
100%. But, yeah, I can I mean, there were food pantries. Like, places we went. I remember Amber putting together boxes for the kids she used to babysit and stuff. Like, there were just so many things that a lot of kids really take for granted.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, especially if you don't grow up poor. And that's really the class breaker right there, is growing up with a little bit of poverty versus not. And, you know, now especially because middle class, there's no such fucking thing. Right. So, you know, what do you do?
Right. Yeah, for sure. But she's right. I go over the top on things that I didn't have as a kid. Like, even with the babies that I have now, like, you know, their clothes have to be the best. And now I buy them used. I buy used, and, you know, but like if they go out of the house other than daycare, like, they're gonna look the best because I want people to look at them and go, oh my God, they're so cute. Because I don't know if they had that before they got with me, but I will be damned if they don't have that while they're with me. They will go out feeling like $1 million, just like my kids went out feeling like $1 million. And my daughter now is 18 and she's jealous of it, and she'll be like, oh, we can't get this because we can't buy Malaya new boutique outfits. And I'm like, I said, don't forget, you used to be the little girl that walked through the halls and the teacher would be like, she always looks so cute, because that's important to me. Okay, so don't forget. And she's like, I know. I'm like, I may not spend money on you now, but I did when you were little because we didn't have that shit. And I had to wear dirty clothes and stuff. And no.
Like, even Ashley and I have talked about this. Like, these kids don't miss fucking dental appointments. Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
I did not have a dental appointment until I was like 17.
Right.
Like, what's it like?
And they were like, we don't even have your shit on the chart. Yeah.
Were you vaccinated? I don't fucking know.
They let me go to school.
Yeah.
No, because remember when they mandatory for 11th grade, they done called my mama and said she ain't got her shots. And I was like, because they don't give codeine for that. So not codeine, she didn't like codeine, codone. I was like, she don't give a shit about them vaccinations. They was like, she can't come back. She was like, oh, your ass going to school. So she got my vaccinations. But, yeah. I was like, yeah, they don't give codeine. 40 years old, and I still have to tell the pharmacist I'm not allergic to codeine.
Oh my gosh, that shit's crazy.
So yeah, but Dania was there through like the thick of it, and she was one of those friends that like never judged you, like even though she, she wasn't raised like that, and she lived in a nice home or whatever. Well, we all have our own shit, you know what I mean? And
my shit was like more like trauma from people, like loved ones. I had some issues with a stepdad.
Yes.
That was a part of my life for a long time, and
honestly, I didn't even know about it.
no, well, I mean, I didn't want to tell my friends. This shit was embarrassing.
Right.
So it was the year after. Well, the year we graduated high school, my mom started sleeping separately from my stepdad at the time, who had been with me for like 7 or 8 years. You know, I mean,
Yeah, we thought a lot of him.
I mean, yeah, and I think everybody always thought he was gay because he was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like he was kind of feminine in the sense he
yeah,
liked to cook
and he was calm. Like he was the one that would come over in the truck and pick everybody up in the back of the truck. Like he was safe to us. I felt like.
Yeah, I think, and he was safe to me too. And he was probably the first big bout of consistency I ever had in my life. So, my mom starts sleeping separate. I'm going through graduation in high school. I'm mad as fuck because I'm like, Mom, you ruin everything. Like you're a drunk, and you want to leave him now. You've been with him for 8 years. Like, why can't we just all be a family? I'm going to college. I'm mad. I'm pissed. She's sleeping in the extra room right across from me. So that summer, she moved out and entirely moved in with my grandma, who lived in the city in Nashville. Well, I'm still going to college. I still have my job, my bartending job at Ruby Tuesdays, wherever I was working. So I stay in the house with him.
Right, because he's consistent.
He's consistent, and I feel terrible for him. I mean, to me, it's like, okay, well, this is just another one of those decisions she's going to make while she's drunk, and she's destroying this, and blah blah blah. So anyway, I was getting ready for work one day. I had this thing. I used to smoke weed in the bathtub, because for some reason somebody said that steam makes it go out the window, or somebody won't be able to smell, or I don't know.
Right.
One of those stupid things that we do when we're kids. And I went in there and forgot my lighter. And so I throw my robe back on and I open the door, and I catch my stepdad like right in front of my door on his knees. And it was so fucking odd. Like just the oddest moment of...
Yeah.
Like
what the fuck?
And it startled me, but my first thought was not that anything inappropriate was happening.
Right.
It was, he must have dropped something, tripped, fell, and landed right there, and he's just like that for a reason, because this person's not ever gonna hurt me. You know what I mean? Like,
and let me say this: Dania always is like looks for the good in people. She's not one that's gonna.
And it's been to my detriment. Like I have shit taste in men because of it. Like no shit. Like honestly.
But you do find the good. Like you don't just see someone and be like, I don't like her. Like she's just like,
I'm not.
I really like her hair, and I'm like,
person.
she's a bitch, and Dania's just like, no, but she's really pretty.
Unless
she's
she
always
talks shit about you, the
right,
bitch be all in.
Exactly.
But no, I mean, so anyway, so that was the first time, and then there was a second time, same scenario, and then there was the third time, and the third time was a test, and that was when I knew this weirdo motherfucker's like peeping on me naked. You know what I'm saying? It was the hardest time in my life. My mom had moved out by that point. She was living with my grandma. And it was just really fucking hard because I had this friend circle of girls that had been coming around this man for the last 4 or 5 years. Staying the night. Like, we're sneaking out. We're getting drunk. We're doing all kinds of shit. And, yeah, man, it was probably the most heartbreaking thing I went through as a young adult. And it really sucked because, like, dude, I trusted him. Like with my whole,
yeah, we all did.
We all did.
Like my mom let me go with him, and she normally like feels people out, and it's like no, but everybody was like, he's cool.
And,
let him,
And honestly, like I said, I'm an adult now. I look at things differently. Do I believe he was sick and something was off there? Absolutely. But at the same time, being an adult, knowing that my mom was an alcoholic, there were weird shit. It's just. It makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I forgive that. It's not like I'd ever want to run into him at the fucking grocery store or anything like that. Matter of fact, after I got married, MySpace that just came out. So, I sent him a nice little message like, hey, bitch, I didn't forget. I got this big motherfucker over here, by God. Try that shit again. But, I mean, really, it broke my heart more than anything. It wasn't even something that you get through and fight through.
Right.
It was just like, wow, like the world can really be evil.
Yes.
You know. So that's
let me say
when I left.
that it's really awesome of you to know that the world really can be evil and everybody can be evil, but you still find like you still are a positive person and you're still so fucking resilient that it's not even funny. And that like, I love that about you. I love, like, I've never had I don't have friends that I've never like been jealous of. I've never been jealous of her because she's never flaunted it. She never acted like, she was like, if she's like Lizzo, if I'm shining, bitch, we're all shining. But
Man, I got it
she
all
was just
again.
telling me before she's like, there was a third one.
Yeah,
yes.
And y'all don't get along now.
Yeah, we do. It's the fourth one.
Alex,
The fourth.
Yeah.
There was a fourth.
There was a
Well,
fourth.
she said there was a fourth, and I said, "What happened?" She said, "Well, I told her to fuck off." She
No,
said, "But then
I got mad.
yeah, and you told her to fuck off."
Yeah, and then I told her I'm
But
sorry.
then she apologized.
And she didn't accept
She said
it.
she didn't accept it, so I told her to go fuck herself.
Yes, I told her again to fuck off because here's the thing: I don't apologize, but when I
So
do
you told
apologize,
her
if
to
you don't accept it, then fuck yourself.
Fuck off and then go fuck yourself.
Yeah. So
and I miss our foursome.
I know it was great. It was
I
great.
miss our foursome days. Y'all done gave me this sparkling. Y'all better edit that shit. I just sparked all up in the mind.
Oh no, we do it all the time.
I'm just like,
Yes.
bleh.
Yeah.
Y'all can.
It was
keep
actually
that one
kinda
in
weak,
for funny
so,
purposes.
yeah.
So, but yeah, no. I do miss that.
Yes.
But I mean, you know, it. What do you do?
It'll come back around.
One day.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Absolutely.
One of our last foursome groups, we went to camp
Montgomery Bell.
for my birthday and Amber's birthday.
We lived off the land.
Oh yeah, Dania rolled in on 4 flat tires.
And went and got some cigarettes and some rolling papers.
And never aired her tires up. Just came back. Yeah. And then she realized that she didn't bring enough cigarettes. She never brings enough cigarettes.
I've never prepared.
Never. She always
I'm
comes and
not.
says, "Oh, I gotta go." I'm like, Dania, you always have to stop before.
Get 2 packs of cigarettes. Typically, they're
she
on
pulls
sale.
in, like 900 miles per hour. Of course, the speed
I'm
limit's
like
15.
listening to DMX.
She pulls in and I'm like,
grown up
your
for
back
shit.
tire's flat. I'm like, oh, and your front tire's flat. Oh, shit, they're all flat. She's like, oh, yeah, I tried to air it up. It didn't work. And then, like, the next morning, she's like, I'm going to get, she goes and gets us all coffee and cigarettes. Still don't air her damn tires up. I'm like, she's riding on her rims.
Y'all, I was like the party pooper that night because we drank in the, like, we got on the, whatchamacallit, paddle boats.
Yes.
Y'all, we ain't 19 no more. We're like 35, 36 off in the damn Montgomery Bell River, whatever the fuck. We jump off the paddle boats, and y'all, there's these.
Okay, first of all, it says no jumping off.
It says no jumping
I
off.
didn't
but
jump
fuck
off because
that.
I'm a fool.
We're rebels.
I'm a rule
You
follower.
ended up in the red. You was in
They're
the
rule
water.
breakers.
So there's these 2 boats.
Somebody had to keep us afloat. Remember, I didn't get in.
There's 2 boats docked over here, y'all, and it's the young and the beautiful. Do you remember that shit? These people are like 18 to 25, ripped, tattoos.
Yeah.
You know, their little boats are docked. They're sitting over there totally making fun of our fat asses that have
Right, we
fallen off our
cellulite.
paddle boat.
Yes.
And we couldn't get back in the paddle boat because none of us had the upper body strength because we had been drinking all fucking day.
And we're laughing
And
because
we're hysterical because the cool kids are sitting there staring at us. They look at us like we're
I'm like, who's
grotesque.
going to ask for help? Because
Yeah.
we have no upper body strength. We're
Yeah.
screwed.
But not us. I still don't to this day know how we did not drown that day.
I think Alex got up.
Of course you did.
Right. Anyways, we went camping. We put the tent up. It might have took us 3 hours. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
And we made a shrimp bowl, which I, because I'm almost 40 at the time, so of course we put all the seasonings. And the other one, Amber's she's prepared. Like she's got Tupperware. And now I'm not really that prepared, but I did bring like some seasoning and stuff. We had like a shrimp bowl, and then we sat around and we shot probably like 10 o'clock.
I didn't bring none of that. I didn't bring shit.
I think you might have brought a dime bag.
I brought, and some beer.
And look, we laughed so much.
And the music.
Yes, and her flat tires.
Our faces
hurt. So the next day,
they got in the tent at like 10 o'clock at night and tried to come up in there talking and shit. And I was laying on my air mattress that deflated, mind you. I had the only fucked up air mattress.
Because Amber was Amber the one that went down or you did?
No, I did. I think I remember correctly.
She's like, I feel rocks. Like, lay still, you'll go to sleep, Mama said.
They come in here and they're talking. And I'm like, y'all shut the fuck up. It is not, this is tent time. Tent time is quiet time. Like, I was not playing with y'all.
But the next morning, we had to meet our neighbors and apologize profusely that we were so sorry that we were so loud. I don't remember where they were from. You don't remember them? We went through their camper.
The old people?
Yes.
Were they mad at us?
No, because we're like, oh my gosh, we're so sorry. And then we had to go through their camper and they had to tell us all.
They showed us like the history of fucking Belforge, Tennessee or some shit. I don't know.
Yes, but
they were super cool.
They were.
But this is what's crazy about camping. You go to those campgrounds and it's like a trailer park. I mean, it is.
Right.
It's like kids on bikes, like living off the land.
Dania's driving 42 through the thing. It's like 15.
I'm getting it. Like I said, listen to DMX. And you wake up at 7:30 the next morning, and it is fucking ghost town.
Yeah.
And you're like, where did these people go, Matt? Like, when did they pack up and when did they leave?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know. That was nuts.
That was nuts.
Yeah, we had such a good time.
We did.
Such a good time.
We went to Waffle House afterwards. I don't smoke pot, but they talked me into hitting it. I think I only hit it like once. We went on the trail.
You did do
Don't
that.
remember.
It was a big deal.
It was a huge
big
deal. I was like,
We're
hi.
talking like 20 years of
Yes.
her being like, no.
Yeah.
The peer pressure
Yes.
set in that day.
And I was high as shit. The picture
was-
that we took, like, I think my eyes were crossed. And I want to say I hit it like once, maybe twice. But we got to Waffle House. It's like very blurry about what we did, but I'm like, we had so much fun. That was a lot of fun.
So while we're talking about camping, though, the first time we ever went camping, do you remember that? And only?
No.
And Frankie and
Dylan.
Body Sweat and Dylan. It rained and
Yes,
we
and the-
flooded. We flooded. Remember
Our
that?
tent. You know how they have like a
Oh my
cap that goes
God.
over the tent? Well, it was under the tent, so the rain was just coming into the tent.
So I had the biggest crush on this guy that stayed
How
with us
old were
that
y'all?
night.
14,
13,
15.
14.
Yeah.
Yeah. We was country kids, though.
Probably 15.
So,
I was
yeah.
probably 15, probably 14. Yeah.
She's,
Yeah.
So I had this biggest crush on this kid that stayed with us that night. And y'all, this motherfucker ain't never
I
seen
don't
the
mean
day
to-
of
I
deodorant.
went to the jail and asked Barbara Jean if I could go on this camping trip. So
Did you
yes.
really? You got permission?
Yes,
from...
my mama was in
Oh, my
jail, and I called up
gosh.
to the jail and was like, "Hey, can I talk to my mama?" And they went and got my mama out of the cell. And I was like, "That's why I ended up not living with Connie, was because she said I couldn't go, and then Mama said yes, you can."
Yeah, because Barbara would have fucked her ass
Yeah.
up. She would
So,
have camping
yes.
without knowing about it.
I called the jail and got permission from my mama to go on this camping trip. She said who I was going, and I told her exactly who was going. So, anyways, go ahead. Sorry, Dania.
So yeah, so he's staying, and I'm like, I'm super, because I mean, mind you, we're high school kids, so I'm thinking maybe we may make out in the tent. Like, this is some real like Friday the 13th movie
Yes.
type shit. So I'm like, this is cool. Y'all, this motherfucker stunk so bad. Oh my God! The next morning we woke up and everybody was like, "Who had the tent with JJ?" And I'm over here like,
You're like, does
did
my hair
nothing
smell
happen.
funny?
Oh, it was terrible. And it was a whole, we was like in the middle of a creek because everything
Yes.
rose and all our stuff was getting blown away.
Yes. Because Dylan went and slept in his truck.
That bitch.
Yeah. Then I slept. I don't know where I slept, but I wasn't allowed to sleep in the truck, because I wasn't probably not cool enough or whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah. We've had some times.
We have.
When we were in the trailer park. Well, I had my own trailer for a minute.
Your mama was in jail, okay?
Right.
Doesn't mean it was yours.
Right. But I acted like it was. And one time we had some guy friends that also told their parents I'm staying at Ashley's, and they got into a car wreck. And then they came back to the house. And remember when they found their car by Bam's house, and the truck was standing in it was Dennis and...
Oh, God, yes. Yes.
Like a badass accident.
Oh, my gosh,
And we like
yes.
nursed them back to health. And then we're like, what do we tell our parents? Like, what do we... And they were like, the truck was stuck in it was like a waterfall, and it was just stuck like this. And we're like-
Oh, yes. I remember that.
And we were like,
the next
I mean-
morning, she called her mom in jail.
Yes.
It was like a goddamn truck stalled.
I'm always calling my mama in jail or going up to the jail going, can I see my mama? And they were like, yeah. They just let me. Now they would never let me do that. But now, yeah, they would totally
Back then it was condemned, though. Like, it was damn near condemned.
Oh, yeah. And they would just go, they'd either go get her or they'd let me walk back there to her cell and, talk to her or whatever. But, oh, yeah, we were forever going up to the jail. if we had a question, like, Mom, what should we do? Can you go get my mom out? They'd be like, yeah, and then they'd come. Here she'd come, and she'd get to smoke a cigarette with us, and then she'd go. They'd lock her back up, but yeah,
enough smoke a cigarette.
I know.
Can we do that? What's the rule on that, Trent?
Trent, can we wrap this episode up and take a little break and then come right back?
Sure.
We'll go fast. All right.
Yeah, we'll go super fast.
Kilo, we're so sorry you haven't got to talk this time.
That's probably part of my fault.
No. It's but
It probably is.
Yeah, but we're not done with Dania. She's gonna be on the next week's episode too. Dania. Yes. You can practice that while we're outside.
Dania.
But we're gonna go take a smoke break and we're gonna wrap this one up. And remember, we can talk shit about our moms, but nobody else can.
No, bet not.
Peace out, bitch.
Thank you for staying around for all of our crazy.
Be sure to like, follow, and share with everyone you know.
Even them whores you don't like.
And leave us a 5-star review.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, bitches.